Well, just a quick. So that's just a quick look of this courtyard here at the LA Mission. I was in line to, we line up at basically. Usually there's chapel, and they'll let you in at like 4:30. You can sit in there and listen to the preachers, ministers, whatever. But today there was none, I guess. Or there was a bilingual one, I guess, Spanish and English. And those usually start earlier, and they're in a different part of the building I've never been to yet. And I didn't want to go to it today, so I've been outside here in this courtyard area. And this is my bag I just got started with today because I got robbed again last night. But I took precautions, as I'm starting to do now, so I didn't lose anything significant. But still, it sucks to lose anything. But I lost something. So, but anyways, but they won't let me go in with this bag into the dining room. And so I go into that area, which is where you can go to check in your stuff, and they say they're full. So I'm not going to leave it out here in the courtyard because things will get stolen, because I've had that happen before, where it's like, even though it's like stuff I could care less about, like bedding stuff, for example. But my tarp got stolen, for example. But I have another tarp. I have a brand new one in here, right? This one, right there. So I didn't care about that too much. What else? I wanted to talk about just some things about, when I was talking about, for example, the deep state and that this is this vast criminal enterprise, organized criminal enterprise, and it's like it's like a web. There's so many different institutions, and there's businesses, and there's medical facilities, there's hospitals, there's ER rooms, there's doctors, there's all these people. You would think it's impossible, but it's not. And once if you can somehow get past that hurdle, that this had to be done. If you want to get this whole thing to work in general, this vast organized criminal conspiracy that subverts all laws, and they can do whatever the hell they want, just like in Russia. They'll throw you out a window, and then on the news it'll just say, oh, this such and such person was drunk and fell out the window, right? Well, here in the United States, it looks like more and more, is what I can tell, as far as I can tell, is if you become some kind of enemy that they want to target, they're going to find ways to get rid of you, and the media is just going to suck it up. And they'll come up with some story. So I'll put it this way. I've aged, I figure, like 20, 25 years in the last 7.5 months, almost 8 months. I figure that's how much I've aged. So it's a combination of poisoning and the stress, of course, and there's so much unknown, which is not unknown to me anymore. And then, of course, all the assaults in terms of the actual directed energy weapons. I count both the directed energy weapons and the poisonings. Both of those categories are assaults. When I say it's like 3,600 plus times in 7.5 months. So, what I wanted to talk about was how you have, for example, businesses. Like, let's say, for example, Costco. What could Costco have to do with any of this? Well, I took some pictures, and I'll try to edit this video, and I'll insert those pictures if I can figure out how to do it. I've never done that before. I haven't really done much video editing ever. I'm trying to learn this stuff on the fly here. But Costco has a brand called Kirkland. It's a Costco brand. But they'll sell their brand to Walmart too. I think their Costco Signature Series various food products are available in in Walmart too, and maybe some other places, I don't know. But what I found was that they have a lot of food that is just really bad for you, like really bad for you. And so many bad preservatives, like sodium nitrate, that people shouldn't be, that quality food doesn't use that stuff. That finds its way into places like this shelter. And so I was wondering, for a long time, where's all this food coming from? Who's donating it? Because you would see a lot of the same stuff over and over again, like these croissants. And I saw a video on YouTube about, several videos on YouTube, like the 10 Kirkland brand foods you should never eat, or the 10 worst, Kirkland brand stuff like that. And so, I started noticing these Kirkland brand. I didn't know where they came from until today, that they're a Costco brand, and they're just full of, at least the stuff that ends up here, that gets donated here, it's really, really bad quality. And it's like, why is it such bad quality? Not only that, a lot of times it's so old. Like they gave away these free Danishes, for example, and the Danishes are, they're not nasty. They'll if you got a sugar craving, they'll definitely work with that. And unfortunately, a lot of people here, they have that sugar craving. I do, but I try to be careful about it. Some of those foods are particularly bad. They're just dripping with sugar. They're dripping with coated sugar. They're dripping with fat, and dripping with bad types of fat, like the palm oil stuff, which according to the YouTube video I saw, was really, really bad type of oil. It's really bad for your body. And then there was another thing I thought was curious. There's 3 different types of waters they give people. There's a multitude of different types of water. There's Arrowhead, that seems to be okay. There's some other brands that seem to be okay. But then there was one that was like, I took pictures of them, because that stuff got stolen, by the way. But I have pictures of them, thankfully. I have pictures of both of the brand and of the ingredients. You say, well, what ingredients? Most of the water bottles don't have an ingredients section on the back, but these did. Why? Because they had to list that they contain sodium bicarbonate, and it says 10% daily value. So if you have a lot of people drink 6 of those a day, that's 60% of your sodium intake just drinking water. And people don't realize, the people here, for example, they don't look at those things. I look at all the labels. That if something has a label on it, I'm looking at it. But they're people here can't afford to, they're living on the streets, they're eating poor, and they're getting their sodium levels too high, and then they're getting this massive rush of sugar all the time, because that's what they're feeding these people, is sodium and sugar, left and right, sodium, sugar, sodium, sugar, sodium, sugar. There's this Kirkland brand water. I got a picture of that one too. I'm not going to drink it because they gave it away for free when they were giving away these grab bags of food, or these goodie bags that contained all these donuts. The bagels are fine, but this Kirkland water jug, it not only had sodium bicarbonate, it had sodium chloride. So I Googled sodium bicarbonate, sodium chloride in water, and one of the first links was an article that said, in mice, when they tested this stuff on mice, it resulted in a massive spike in hypertension in mice. And it's like, wow. So they're putting this stuff in the water they give us, and it's like, hey, like I said, so eugenics, and not only that, but just killing people off as fast as they can get away with, and not looking, too obvious about it. I'm just saying, and I'm going to put all that information out there, and it's going to accumulate, and so you can be the judge. It's just going to be an accumulation of stuff, because there's nobody down here investigating anything, and people think that this is everybody's doing a good job. They're Christian. They're doing Christian things. You know what? Think again. It could all very well be like this big ruse. Maybe a lot of people don't realize it, but I tell you what, there's a lot of people that work here that do know exactly what's going on here. Hey, what's up? So anyways, I'll try to piece all this stuff together with the pictures, like the photos I've taken, and try to upload that. I'm having difficulty uploading to Instagram Threads some of my videos. I had this one video that's exactly 5 minutes, but it won't, for some reason, the past 2.5 days, I can't get it to upload. So I may try to edit it down to 1 second shorter and see if that fixes it. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to cut this video short right now. And I'll try to edit it and add to it, subtract to it, from it, I mean, and go from there. All right, later.